Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Original Rebels Racing League 1, or Original Rebels Racing League Back the Blue 150 here for the Xtreme Xfinity Series here at Darlington Raceway. I'm Zach Wetstein. I'm here with Alex Veith. How you doing, Alex?
Good. Ready for some Darlington night racing. The lady in black at night.
Yeah, I mean, this track itself is just all around danger, and then you put it under the lights where racing gets even more intense. And, well, we're about to see what that creates tonight as these guys are getting ready to qualify. I believe it has started, so we're going to go ahead and check out some qualifying. First person I see, William Griffith. Go ahead and check him out on track in that 12 machine.
Yeah, William Griffith last night scored his first career league race win over in the Pullman Race and Truck Series. We're at Bristol last night, and tell you what, he showed up with like 4 minutes of time left on the clock for qualifying, put it sixth, and then put it on the top of the box off the trailer.
Nice. See if he can't go two in a row.
Yeah, see if he can't stack on that momentum.
Completely different track and completely different set of challenges tonight with this track. Obviously Bristol a half mile that's banked, obviously, but it's very short. And then you come to a track just under a mile and a half with very different and very weird turns.
Yeah, one corner is bigger than the other because I can't remember what's the smaller corners. The 3 and 4, or
3 and 4.
There's a koi pond that the guy who owned the land did not want the track to destroy his koi pond, so he refused to sell the land to the track.
Yeah, you look at the track map there on screen right now. You see that 3 and 4. Definitely tighter than 1 and 2. Like you mentioned, that guy with the koi pond did not want them to confiscate that part of his land, so they built around, or I wouldn't say around it, but to it, and made that turn a lot different than it would have been if he didn't force them to do that. William Griffith qualified 8th so far. Jamie Barkus with the pole spot. We so far have 12 qualified. Clint Reese just qualified 2nd. Looks like he's done. So we'll go try to find someone that's still qualifying. Justin Hendry. Back in that Alabama paint scheme.
Yeah, those guys are going to play the Ohio State. Is it Monday night for the national championship?
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly. I haven't been paying attention to it. Yep, Monday night. As Justin Hendry's able to cross the start-finish line, and he's going to qualify 9th the first time around as he goes and tries to improve on that time. Oh, and he touches the wall.
Into the wall, earning a stripe.
Yeah, already earned one of those Darlington stripes, and that's going to stop him from having that second lap count. So he's going to be at least 9th in tonight's race. Still some people yet to qualify. Jeff Paisley on track. At Martinsville, I mentioned that he probably didn't want to use that paint scheme that I can't remember what he used, but he didn't want to use it again just because of the bad luck it brought him. So he and his son brought up a paint scheme throughout the week, and, well, he has a paint scheme with bandages all over it, trying to still recover from Martinsville. So pretty creative there.
Yeah, here at Darlington, it's not a matter if you hit the wall. It's a matter of when you hit that wall.
Yeah, specifically at a turn 2. That's where you're going to see a lot of the issues. And we'll go on board with somebody once they qualify. Jeff Paisley goes up to 6th. So far, Jamie Barkus with your pole spot. I think Rich Yeoman is done. No, he's just going into turn 1. You see coming out on turn 2, that wall creeps up very fast, and that's where you see a lot of people touch that wall. If you touch it, you get lucky. You usually just hit the wall. So you see him get loose there in 3 and 4, so that car looks like it's loose early on. So far, 20 qualified, 28 in the session. Not sure how many of those are actually racing. I know we probably have at least 1 or 2 of those being race control. But 20 qualified so far, including Rich Yeoman. He is qualified 17th. And he's probably just going to run some practice laps there. So we will go ahead and take a look at the point situation real quick. We'll take all of this off the screen for you. With 2 races to go, including tonight, Patrick Jerbick, your points leader at 308 points. Currently 22 points ahead of Jamie Barkus. So Jamie Barkus currently in the pole spot. But even if Jamie wins the race tonight, still a lot of ground to make up in 2 races.
Yeah, Patrick DeBick really just has to go into damage control and just finish, really, tonight and next weekend. I think he might have it on lock.
Yep, and tonight's definitely a challenge for that. It's a tough place not to be wrecked or to wreck yourself. So if he can make it through tonight, and maybe not even, because he's a good driver, but even if he doesn't add on to that points lead, but holds a good enough lead going into Chicago, I think that'll be a success for him, at least if he can just, like you said, damage control, as Michael Swink's now out on track. So we'll go ahead and take a look at him qualifying. Yep, those are your points. Jesse Nekula, Josh Oswald, and William Griffith, your top 5 in points, but really only 2 or 3 drivers, maybe 4, with Josh Oswald being in contention for the points. But for any driver, it's going to be tough to catch up to Patrick Jerbick.
Yeah, they pretty much need him to finish dead last tonight. That's what, Jamie Barkus just needs him to finish dead last tonight to even have a remote shot at making a run at it at Chicagoland.
Yeah, Michael Swink here, qualified 17th his first lap. Looking to improve on that in the second lap, but it looks like he had a little trouble in 1 and 2, so not sure if he's going to be able to do that, as he's just going to pull it down and probably go to pit road, so he's going to qualify at least 17th tonight. And why don't we go ahead and take a look at that schedule that we were talking about. As you see, Darlington tonight and Chicagoland Speedway is where we will crown a champion, and that will also be 150 laps, but 225 miles, our second longest race of the season, tonight being the third longest. So Daytona, the first race, I actually think the Daytona race was brought down to 80 laps. I don't think that race was 100.
Yeah, it was not.
So really, yeah, so I think Chicago and Darlington are our 2 longest races of the season. With that being said, Daytona might have still been longer than our Darlington race tonight. But I mean, just in general, those are pretty long races to end the season, and it's really going to test the will of these guys at 2 tough tracks, Darlington and Chicagoland.
Yeah, evidently Logan wanted a marathon to the end.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie Barkus has definitely earned the right to, hold that points lead this late into the season with, Daytona, Atlanta, Kentucky, Bristol, Kansas, Watkins Glen, Richmond, and Martinsville being your first 8 races. That's tough to get through and be a points leader. So for that to happen, I mean, it definitely shows consistency. And I'm not sure. Nope, nobody else qualifying right now. We have a minute left. So we'll go ahead and also talk about Original Rebels Racing League, the Sunday Night Truck Series brought to you by Intensity Broadcasting. Those start at 10 o'clock. Friday Night Xtreme Xfinity Series, what you're watching tonight. Like we mentioned, one more broadcast next week to end the season, and then it'll be a couple weeks before Season 2 comes around. The Saturday Night Send It Cup Series, they're in Season 2 right now. Just started, I think they're 3 or 4 weeks in. And then the Tuesday Night Dirt Invader Series, they're about, I you can probably say better than I, but about halfway into the season or so.
Oh, yeah, we're just past it. We got 3 races left. We got Knoxville this Tuesday, Charlotte, and then the season finale at Volusia. That's where we're at, Volusia.
So yeah, the Tuesday night Dirt Invader series still recruiting. Saturday night as well. The Friday night and Sunday night series right now are locked up, but I mean, we have many more series outside of what shows on this. The Thursday night Thunderstruck Super Series, it's a sister league to this league, but they're still recruiting. There's a Monday night series. I think that there's an Outlaw Truck Series. I'm not sure if they're recruiting, though. So still plenty of opportunities to join the league and race with the guys that you see every weekend broadcast. So if you're interested, definitely look us up on iRacing Facebook or search up Matt Geis. He's the owner of the league, and we'll get you into the Discord and get you racing. And speaking of racing, we are getting ready to go racing as these guys are gridding. See if we can. All right. So Jamie Barkus, your pole sitter, which means we'll go ahead and pull up your grid. Jamie Barkus with a 28.996. Second, Clint Reese qualifying third. Patrick Drbick. Fourth, Elliot Longenecker, and rounding up top 5, Joshua Sexton. Sixth is Jeff Paisley, his son in seventh, Will Paisley. Tanner Marr 8th, Tia Swank 9th. And I don't know why, but I'm going to take this off the screen because names were blended into each other. There we go. Justin Hendry 10th, Scotty Stevens 11th, Tyler Rice 12th. 13th is Jesse Necula, 14th, Eric Santee. 15th, William Griffith, Brandon Wallace 16th. 17th is Michael Swink. Rich Yeoman qualifying 18th. 19th is Lance Sponberg. And running at the top 20 is Philip Manzo. Ray Page 21st. Garrett Kinder 22nd. 23rd, Mickey Isaac. 24th, Josh Oswald. 25th, Charles Stevens. Chuck Feltz 26th. Zach Wilson 27th. And Anthony Cirillo running out the field. So 28 in the session. We'll see how many grid so far. 26 have gridded.
22nd on back didn't qualify. So that includes Kinder, Wilson, Isaac, Oswald, Stevens, Cirillo, and Phelps.
Yeah, so Zach Wilson, Garrett Kinder, and Anthony Cirillo have not gridded. So looks like those three either not racing or starting from the pits, but I couldn't see Zach Wilson or Garrett Kinder starting from the pits. So
Chuck
at least
Phelps is on track, Mickey Isaac on track, Ray Page on track, Oswald on track.
Yeah, it looks like 25 cars on track right now. That is a very large field for a track like this. It is over a mile in length, yes, but when you look at the challenges of these turns, 25 cars is definitely more than enough to create some drama here at Darlington.
Yeah, there's going to be no shortage of violence tonight. Kinder is not racing. He will be race control. So there's one less. And we are green flag already.
Green flag is out. Clint Reese and Jamie Barkus side by side going into turn one. And that is one thing you don't want to do for long is be side by side in these turns.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it looks like there's a ton of room, but it's really only about 2 lanes wide as far as the banking goes. Because once you get
wrecking in the
dotted
back.
line.
Sorry to cut you off there.
Big one.
Yeah, looks like Lance Sponberg a part of it. I think I saw Jeff Paisley was in the beginning parts of that wreck.
Whoa, it started all the way back in turn 2 with the 66.
These might have been 2 separate wrecks.
It was just one extended. Oh, nope.
So we see Jeff Paisley here, gets into the wall. And then, yeah, so he gets into nobody else, and then, yeah, they're wrecking behind him. So
The
that
53 went around by himself. The 66 went around by himself. The 86 is what collected the carnage.
Yeah, you already see smoke in front of him, so we'll get behind him here and see what happened in front. Oh, a couple cars got together, spinning, and for the most part, everybody does a great job at
And then here goes the 53 around.
Oh, no. Oh, and Lance gets into the wall and collects the 25 and the 30, bringing out our first caution of the night. We saw a couple of cars by themselves collect that Darlington stripe here early. As Jamie Barkus and Clint Reese, they were side by side early, but they were able to keep it going and still 1-2 on track.
Yeah. Looks like Zach Wilson is not racing, or Anthony Cerullo is not racing, not tonight either.
Looks like we have 3 cars in the pits. Justin Hinder, Jeff Paisley, Brandon Wallace. I imagine we'll see guys like Lance Sponberg come to pit road next time or so. He is a lap down, so I think he has to wait. See if he comes in this time, because he definitely had a lot of damage after that wreck. One thing these guys probably don't want to do is go a lap down. They will probably have more opportunities, get a lap back if they go a lap down here tonight. But if you can avoid going a lap down at all costs, probably want to do that. And so it doesn't look like anybody else is down pit road. I think Jeff Paisley is still down getting that damage fixed on that car.
Yeah, he's
waiting on the field to go by. Okay. So he'll go a lap down here early, but still a long time, or a lot of laps left to go to get that lap back.
That is a rule I've noticed that some people have a hard time remembering in iRacing, is the pit road exit will close. See lots of those penalties in official races.
Yeah, in official races, you can't get them cleared by anybody. So if you make them, I mean, it's a self-made mistake. So you get that black flag, it definitely can hurt you.
I almost made it last night in the Bristol race. I realized at the last second, and I put my brake pedal through the floor.
Looks like the lights are off on the pace car. Ready to go back racing here at Darlington Raceway. These guys are going to get back lined up 2 by 2. Jamie Barkus, Clint Reese, Elliott Longenecker, Patrick Derbick, Tanner Marr, your top 5. Or Joshua Sexton, your top 5, sorry. Looks like we already have some pretty fast movers. Probably due to that wreck, but some guys already 5 to 10 spots up.
Mickey Isaac up to 13th from 23rd already.
You think tonight, Alex, at all? I bring up these questions when we go to really tough tracks. That we'll see single file restarts at all during this race if we have too many cautions?
Oh, yes, I believe so.
A very tough track to be side by side in any of these turns. So we'll see if they implement that at all.
To a big jump over Clint Reese.
Yeah, Clint Reese can be able to hold on to that position. Speaking of side by side, Patrick Derbick, Elliott Longenecker, not side by side for long as Derbick's able to take that 3rd position going into turn 1 and 2. And you see that tight exit off of turn 2. Make sure to stay off that wall. But Clint Reese, Jamie Barkus got out to a nice lead after that restart, but Clint Reese is reeling him in.
Yeah, the field's already single filed out. Oh, got one spinning in turn 4. Looks like a single car spin, and it's going to stay green.
Yeah, when a single car spins or hits that wall, it's all about can everybody avoid them or not. If, you know, it's a tough track to avoid somebody when they hit that wall. If you're so concerned about keeping your car off the wall that all of a sudden they're slow in front of you and you have nowhere to go. Eight laps in now into this race. A couple laps on this run. And everybody doing a nice job at kind of getting it stretched out and start to get into a little bit of a rhythm here, as that's what any NASCAR race is about, but especially a track like this, you want to get into as much rhythm as you can.
Yeah, that's one thing I do struggle about is short run and finding the rhythm.
It's one thing I'm interested to see. It'll be later, obviously, but if we do get a late race restart, which these races always find a way to have, how aggressive can one be going into these turns to try to pass somebody? Might we see a dive bomb? So if we get a late race restart at the end of this race, I'm looking forward to it.
Nice little battle for the lead between the 69 and the 2 going on.
Yeah, Clint Reese definitely looks like he's starting to catch Jamie, and maybe is a little bit faster, but that's definitely a difficulty at this track, is how is he going to pass him?
I think he's just going to kind of bide his time and push him hard enough to where he burns off his tires, and maybe Clint's got a little bit of tire left, he can make a move.
If he's too patient, he might let Patrick Drabik get into this battle, so we'll see how long he how long he weighs his position of whether he should pass the leader or let Patrick Drabik possibly get into this battle. You saw him try to go to the outside of Jamie Barkas, but just not able to make it work just yet. Looks like we have... I was going to go back a little bit further in the pack. Clint Reese making a look to the inside of Jamie Barkas into turn one.
Drives it in, clips him a little bit, but...
Jamie Barkas looked like he got into the wall a little bit, and then they made contact going into the turn. Clint Reese, your new leader at Darlington Raceway on lap 13 now. That was 3 and 4, not 1 and 2. I apologize.
That was a drive it into you see God moment right there.
He was able to make it stick, and he is driving away. Jamie Barkas might be having some issues now, aero-wise, with that car. As now he has to worry about Patrick Drabik. These two, 1 and 2, in the point standings. But luckily for Jamie Barkas, the difference between the two is 22 points. So even if he gets passed here by Patrick, which he's, he may not be. He's looking like he's starting to get back into a rhythm. But whatever happens here, he at least has a 22-point buffer as long as he's able to stay healthy in this race and stay up here in the top 5, top 10.
Yeah, it appears that the right side of that car is clean. Like, I don't think he's hit the wall yet. It looks like the only damage he sustained is the little bit of contact he took from the 2.
Oh, almost jinxed him there. It looked like he almost got into the wall.
We're getting around the lap car of Phil Manzo. Yep.
Yeah. Let's go a little bit further back here. I think it's Tanner Martin, Justin Eckio. I saw him battling earlier. They're not battling anymore. I'm just trying to find some cars that might be Josh Oswald, William Griffith, and Scotty Stevens in a little kind of a 3-car pack here. They're spread out enough, but we'll see if Josh Oswald's able to hold off William Griffith, as it looks like Griffith's starting to catch up to the back bumper of the 17.
Yeah, it's pretty tame throughout the field.
Griffith looking to the outside of Josh Oswald. Josh Oswald closes the door, and that opens the door for Scotty Stevens in the 53, looking to the inside of William Griffith.
Oh, big save.
He's able to save it and stay in front of Justin Hendry for how long, I'm not sure, but what a save from Scotty Stevens.
That was big.
And you see how much...
is it the Wood Brothers tribute?
See how much room you lose when you get loose here, as he's already back about a second from William Griffith. All that matters to him is he didn't spin out and his car is still going.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that spun out in that first caution by himself as he's under fire from Justin Hendrick, peeking inside.
Nice run there from Justin Hendry. Not able to make the pass yet. It's going to get tight out of turn 2. They're able to keep it nice and clean. Don't get into each other. That's out of 4. I'm going to get these turns wrong all night long.
Griffith and Oswald are side by side too.
That is one place you do not want to be side by side.
Oswald's in the wall.
That is the one part of the track you do not want to be side by side.
And Hendry's going to get around Oswald.
Turn 2 is such a tight exit that you just do not want to be side by side. And, well, Josh Oswald was on the outside of that, and he makes contact with the wall and might lose 2 positions here. Scotty Stevens, oh, and he's in the wall again. So a little bit of trouble here for Josh Oswald.
Chuck Phelps in the 75 is going to try and work that bottom line.
See if he can regroup here and find a rhythm like we've talked about all night. You got to find that rhythm, and when you hit the wall or get loose and save it, you're going to be out of rhythm for a lap or 2, and it's all about trying to get it back into it as quickly as possible. And so hopefully Josh is able to keep that car under itself and get back into a rhythm, as he's currently in the 15th position. Up 9. He's lost a couple positions since we watched him, but he's still up 9 spots from where he, I don't think he even qualified. I think Tanner Marr just made a pass on Jesse Necula. These two been racing around each other for a little while tonight. Since that last restart, these guys have done a really nice job. We've seen contact and we've seen them get loose, but they've done a nice job at keeping it green.
Yeah, there was at least 2 practice sessions I can think of for this race alone. So a lot of people got a lot of laps here.
Yeah, you definitely want to prepare for this race. I mean, when you talk about tracks that you want to prepare for more than any other track, this is definitely on that list.
Yeah, we got one coming up Sunday night that I need to start turning laps for.
Yeah, Phoenix is not an easy track.
I think it's an afternoon race too, so it's going to be like 130 track heat.
The Outlaw Series is at night, so I think the Outlaw and the Sunday Night Truck Series do the same thing, but I'm not sure.
I hope so, because I don't want to drive that track in the daylight. That track sucks in the daylight.
Clint Reese, still your leader, 2.8 seconds over Jamie Barkus. So he passed Jamie, and he's just checked out from when he passed him. Clint Reese, Jamie Barkus, Patrick Drabick, Will Paisley, and Tanner Marr make up your top 5. Jesse Necula, Elliott Longenecker, Joshua Sexton, Ray Page, and Tyler Rice, your top 10. 26 laps through. Ooh, you see the lap car in the wall there, but thankfully able to keep it up there and away from Clint Reese.
Yeah, they're starting to get into the meat of the field here.
Yeah, Tia Swankin 20th a lap down. Josh Oswald, we were just with him. He's fallen back now to the 19th position, so more trouble for the 17. And now he's in danger of going a lap down, as you see him there on screen. Oh, he has a lot of damage on that right side.
Yeah, tough break for the Jet.
I mean, I can't blame him. He's usually fast everywhere else, but a track like this can be tough for just anybody, and caution is out. Not sure where that is. Doesn't look like any lead lap cars changed position.
The 25 looks like. Yep, tagged the wall and hard impact.
Yeah, you see hits the wall there coming to the front stretch, and that might be it for that motor. He's still rolling and on pit road. And speaking of pit road, I think, yep, we're about to see some pit stops here under caution. We had a decent amount of green flag laps there, so a chance for these guys to come get 4 fresh tires.
Top 4.
I think Ray Page is the only one to stay out, and we'll see if Ray pits next time by or not. Everybody that's on the pit or on the lead lap came to pit road, it looks like. Clint Reese, as long as he has a clean pit stop, should be the first one out. See Rich Yeoman there with a new car. And Jamie Barkus and Patrick Jerbick are able to make it out in front of Clint Reese. So we'll see if Ray Page pits this time by. And if he does, Jamie Barkus winning the race off of pit road will be your new leader. But if Ray Page does stay out, obviously that'll be the new leader of tonight's race. And yeah, we're going to see that 41 machine pull down pit road. So Jamie Barkus, after beating Patrick Jerbick and Clint Reese off of pit road, will be tonight's race leader on lap 30.
Good green flag run. The field kind of got separated, and there wasn't a whole lot going on. I mean,
yeah, if they can keep having restarts like that, we definitely won't see single file restarts tonight. They were able to fire off cleanly and get single filed, and we saw some racing for positions, but they waited until it really got single filed to race for those positions. That's where it can get dangerous, is racing side by side just off of the restart, getting too aggressive and wrecking early.
Yeah, a lot of people are on fresh cold tires, so that's going to play a factor into it, getting back to that cold tire rhythm.
Yeah, that's always the interesting thing for me, at least when I'm on track, is when you do a really long green flag run and then you have to go get fresh tires and remember what you did before when you had fresh tires, because it's been such a long time since you did, and that can be tough to get back into that cold tire rhythm like you mentioned. So we'll see how well these guys up front and throughout the field are able to do it, and see if we can't have another nice green flag run. Once again, we'll bring up your point situation while we're under caution here. Patrick Jerbick leading Jamie Barkus by 22 points. So Jerbick right behind Jamie Barkus, or well, actually next to Barkus on track right now, 1-2. So Jamie Barkus looking to have a nice clean race and try to win the race, and then, well, you never usually want to hope for somebody to wreck, because it can be bad karma, but I bet that Jamie Barkus is thinking to himself right now, if Patrick Jerbick's ever going to wreck, it would be nice for it to be tonight.
I'd almost bet that a win from Jerbick tonight would mathematically lock up the championship.
Yeah, Jerbick's probably thinking to himself right now, why can't this race end right now? I mean, we still have 120 laps to go, so a long way to go tonight for all of these drivers.
I mean, if there's a Mr. Consistency award for this series, I would hands down give it to the 07.
Green flag is out. A nice restart from Jamie Barkus, Patrick Drabik as well. And Clint Reese looks like he's going to win the battle for the third position going into turn one. Will Paisley, we usually see him up front. Oh, Clint Reese. He's able to keep it straight as he uses that apron. There's a lot of apron underneath all of these turns, and so he uses that to his advantage to save that car. Falls back all the way to the 10th position after being in third.
Yeah, tough break. He just got a heap of work on his plate, but I think he'll get back up there.
Race for the lead going on. Drabik to the back bumper of Jamie Barkus. And I was just about to mention someone we usually see up front or near the front every race since he started at Watkins Glen, Will Paisley in the 93 machine. We haven't seen much of him up here. He's been in the top 10 all race so far, but we haven't seen him up here in the top 3, and we finally do after Clint Reese gets loose there. Will Paisley to the third position. We'll see if he has anything for these front two as the green flag laps count.
Yeah, he's just starting to poke his nose in on the camera. See just a little bit right there. See if he can't close that gap and fill the screen.
Yeah, we'll see if he's taking it easy now. And you can only really tell if he's taking it easy early if he comes storming back later on with green flag laps. Obviously, we can't ask him right now, so, and I don't think he would answer if we asked him right now, so he'd probably be pretty mad. So he is currently 1 second ahead, or 1 second behind these two racing for the lead. Jamie Barkus still with that left side damage from the contact earlier.
Drabik is just kind of matching a move for move. They're just dancing at this point.
Yeah, these two fastest on track that last, or not, yeah, okay, I was looking at the wrong column. Fastest on track that last lap, 29.34 for Barkus and 29.35 for Drabik. So these two, like you said, Drabik is just matching Barkus, and Barkus is just trying to hold on to that lead, running hot laps right now.
I mean, with these two being teammates, you know that they've run together. They've run thousands of laps together, so they kind of know each other's hands. But ooh, Will Paisley in the wall back there a little bit.
Yeah, he's holding on tough to that third position. If he did get into the wall, he was able to get off of it quick enough to not lose that position to Elliott Longenecker. Clint Reese just made a pass, or I was going to say made a pass, but he's getting passed right now. But he might be on that outside passing Mickey Isaac right now. He was in the 10th position, so. Oh, in the wall. Clint Reese, heavy damage to that right side. And he's going to lose.
Tag.
He's going to lose those positions that he just gained back. And now we're going to see how much he loses in the aero department. Got loose when he was in the third position, fell all the way back to 10th, and was looking to pass Mickey Isaac for the 7th position there, and got a little too greedy on exit and hit the wall, but he has a great exit out of turn 4. He's going to follow Justin Hendry, but those two are side by side, so nowhere to go for Clint.
Yeah, he kind of reset back. He's sitting there back there in that 9th spot. He fell back to 10th when he tagged the wall early, but gonna reset and start his charge yet again.
Yep, we're seeing him on the outside of Justin Hendry. You know he's going to be more careful on the outside this time to not hit that wall once again. As you see, he's loses that outside spot to Justin Hendry, and he's going to have to reset and try again.
Yeah, your best bet right now is just kind of sit back and let your tires cool down and make another attack.
Here he comes to the outside, but he lets off because he didn't know whether Justin Hendry would give him that outside or not. And that has Scotty Stevens in that 53 machine right behind him. Oh, Mickey Isaac into the wall. We might be 3 wide here. We are.
Oh, Pepper needs new shorts.
That was definitely a scary moment for everybody involved there. As Clint Reese able to make up 2 spots in one turn, well, one straightaway. Back up to that 7th position and looking to try to head and catch up to William Griffith in the 6th position, currently about a half a second ahead of Clint. To go back up to the battle for the lead, it has not cooled down at all. Patrick Drabik still in the back bumper of Jamie Barkus. These two kind of riding, it looks like, and they're doing it in a very fast style. 3.5 seconds ahead of Will Paisley right now in that 3rd position.
Yeah, that action back there with Clint Reese is about the only action on track right now.
Clint Reese now passing William Griffith for the 6th position. Oh. Their names flipped, and I got confused when I looked at it on my iRacing Lifetime. And Clint Reese not able to make that pass just yet. So William Griffith not giving it up without a fight, but Clint Reese is able to take that spot away in turn 3 and 4. Or 1 and 2, can't tell. There's stands on both sides. I can't tell.
Yeah, Griff's going to hang in there. I mean, he's going to try and follow him up to the front, but he's not going to let him get away. He might get away.
Yeah, Clint Reese is pretty fast tonight. He was pulling away from both of our 1 and 2, Jamie Barkus and Patrick Drabik. Clint Reese was pulling away 2 or 3 seconds ahead of them, so they're about 3 or 4 seconds ahead of 3rd place right now. So if we know one thing, it's that Clint Reese is on a mission right now.
Yeah, after tagging the wall, he's really starting to diamond off those corners, or kind of run it high and then come off corner exit. He pushes it down low to the stripe.
He now has 2.5 seconds up to Jesse Nekula, holding that 5th position, so he's going to have to make up some ground there. We'll go back to our lead, and kind of the same thing, just 2 people riding and ticking off laps.
There, before he switched back to the leaders, that was a textbook diamonding off the corner.
Oh, caution's out. Scotty Stevens, he was having a nice run inside the top 10 there. Unfortunate for the 53. Let's go see what happened to him.
Tagged the wall. Say almost identical to what Rich Yeoman did earlier. Same spot.
Coming out of turn 2, just hits that wall where everybody gets the Darlington stripe, and massive impact to that inside wall on the back stretch. That's where we saw Jimmy Johnson in real life make contact with, I think it was Austin Dillon, and hit that inside wall just about the same way. So that backstretch is not very friendly. It doesn't matter what your name is.
We're a third of the way through the race already.
Yep, and we're seeing guys down pit road once again. Just pretty much everybody on the lead lap. Jeff Paisley going to go and get his lap back. Get back on the lead lap for himself. Unfortunate start to the race for him, but he's able to get back on the lead lap, and we'll see what he has for these guys.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm not going to be doing any more math tonight.
Yeah, I would say last week was a struggle bus with the math department. Busy pit road right now. See who can win off of pit exit this time around. Jamie Barkus was able to do it last time.
Yeah, I told my mom about my math magician skills, and she was less than impressed. My mother, also holding a master's degree, who's very well educated.
It looks like Clint. Go ahead.
Was less impressed with their oldest son's math skills.
Looks like Clint Reese is getting that damage from hitting the wall fixed, as he's going to kind of lose all that ground that he made up. So it's unfortunate, but wants to have as clean of a car as he can when he goes back out on track.
Yep. You want to save that fast repair for when you need it. You don't want to waste it on minor stuff like that. Looks like it's most of the way fixed up.
He will fall back to the 15th position. I got to say this. I don't usually talk about football on broadcast, but I'm not sure if anybody watching. I imagine there's somebody, but playoff football tomorrow, and I am beyond excited. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard you talk about football that wasn't college, to be honest with you.
Yep. My team, it's an NFC West showdown. I'm a Los Angeles. I am a St. Louis Rams fan.
Yeah, I'm not even a Rams fan, and I'm upset at the organization for leaving St. Louis.
I don't have a whole lot of nice things to say about Mr. Stan Kroenke.
Yeah, it never made much sense to move to Los Angeles, so I don't know if we'll ever get
I'm
that.
2.5 hours from St. Louis. I've been to the Dome countless times. Fun fact, the St. Louis Rams in the Greatest Show on Turf era had their training camp in the little college town I used to work in called Macomb, Illinois. And that is where I became a Rams fan, was right then and there.
Is it bad that whenever someone says St. Louis Rams, I always think of Sam Bradford?
I have a Sam Bradford jersey in my closet.
Like, whenever you think of those colors and that team, Sam Bradford just comes to my mind.
Now, I think Kurt Warner, I think Marshall Falk, Torrey Holt, finally getting into the Hall of Fame. The Greatest Show on Turf, I believe, is now complete in the Hall of Fame. As far as key players go, I guess. Kurt's in, Marshall's in. Isaac Bruce is in. Now Torrey Holt's in. I know Orlando Pace is in. Arenas Williams got in last year. I mean, it's basically complete.
There you go. Pace car's in. Jamie Barkus, once again the control car. A third of the way through this race. And he's holding them pretty long this time as he gets off. And green flag racing is the top 4, top 5 get single filed already.
Jamie Barkus is the one who taught me the take off as soon as the pace car leaves the track trick. I've applied that to official racing.
That might cause some issues in the back as Will Paisley looking to the inside, gets loose. He's going to go to the inside wall.
Oh, he saved that.
Oh, and Justin Hendry's going to join him.
Wow.
Woo!
Elliot Longenecker sideways.
I think we need to take a look at that. But, oh, there's more. Yep, Elliot Longenecker. We won't take a look at that just to stay here with the. Oh, there's a caution. Let's go take a quick look at that save before we check out what the caution was. It might have been Longenecker's spin.
Yep, it was Longenecker.
So we'll check out his spin as well. Let's make sure I'm back here. Okay, there we go. Here with Will Paisley to the inside of Drabik. Tries to keep it off of him. Gets loose. And just a little bit of contact to that left side. And then we should see Elliot Longenecker in front of him there. In the wall. Spins out. Down to the apron.
Sideways, snaps it, keeps it off the wall.
I'm a little surprised that a caution came out for that. He was down to the apron.
Yeah, that was an admin thrown.
Oh, okay. That was a wild restart.
That was a save and a half.
A lot happening there on that one.
Anyways, to finish my what I was saying about the Rams, when they were at training camp, they won Super Bowl against the Titans. The Titans came to Macomb to scrimmage, and me and Dad were walking to the field, and If I remember right, Dad said we walked to the field with Air McNair. Yeah, I think that was the key to the success of the Greatest Show on Turf is the fact that they did their training camp in a town of 10,000 people surrounded by cornfields.
Sorry, I was looking at something there. We have 3 cars down pit road: Elliott Longenecker, Will Paisley, Brandon Wallace, and it's showing Philip Manzo. So 4 cars actually.
Yeah, we got for tomorrow, we have the Colts playing the Bills, Rams at Seattle, and Tampa Bay at name redacted.
Name redacted.
I'm curious to see how long that team stays Washington football team.
It can't be too long. It's just got to be because it was a quick name, hopefully. "56 laps into tonight's Back the Blue 150 here at Darlington Raceway for the Xtreme Xfinity Series. 1 race left after tonight. We'll go ahead and bring up your schedule while we're under caution here. Chicagoland Speedway, 150 laps as well next week to crown a champion. Not locked up yet, but it's looking pretty good for Patrick Trebick in that 07 car. Actually, you can't see him on screen. There you go. Looking good for him. A 22-point lead coming into tonight. And, well, I guess if Jamie Barkas were to win, it would go down to 21 if Trebick finished second. I don't think there's any bonus points. I might be wrong there. But even if this is where they finished, it would still look pretty good for Patrick Trebick going into Chicago. But still a long way to go tonight. Just under 100 laps, and a lot can happen in those 95 laps or so.
Yeah, Dad just texted me and confirmed it. Yeah, we walked from the parking lot to the field, the practice field, with Steve McNair.
Really?
I mean, this is like early 2000s, so I mean, there's no security. I mean, he just leisurely strolled to the field with us.
As we're lined back up, ready to go, green flag racing once again. One nice green flag run kind of sandwiched in between a couple of cautions. And that last restart was probably the wildest of them all so far. A couple of single car spins, and they're all able to pretty much save it. I know Elliott Longenecker spun out, but he didn't make any contact with anything, so pretty wild restart, and we'll see what this one brings with 58 laps into tonight's race.
Vargas, Trebick, Necula, and Will Griffith, your top 4, your front 2 rows.
Yeah, Necula, someone we haven't seen up here. He's starting to... Oh, and him and William Griffith make some contact on the front stretch.
Hey, how you doing?
And Necula going to try to dive into turn 1. William Griffith fighting back pretty nice, but eventually Necula is able to make that inside line work, and I thought one of them was going to make contact with the wall. They're both able to keep it off, and Necula is going to secure that 3rd position for now.
It seems like the low line is the preferred line, but maybe it just tears up tires. I'm not sure.
I think really anywhere you run here, you're going to tear up your tires, to be honest with you. I don't know how to save here, at least. That's for sure.
I was impressed with the fact that I managed to run 6 consecutive laps here without hitting anything.
Well done, my friend. We have a long line of cars here, starting kind of with Tanner Marr and Clint Reist there back to the 6th position. So he went to get tire. Sorry, he was fixing his damage earlier, fell back to 15th, and now almost up into the top 5. And caution is out.
Ooh, 01 is backwards.
Mickey Isaac, maybe another self spin here, but more on track. Ooh, definitely does not look like it.
Looks like a racing deal.
Ooh, they're actually hitting in front of them, but they're able to keep it straight. But contact between Will Paisley and Mickey Isaac turns Mickey Isaac around into the wall and stopped on the front stretch.
When Mickey Isaac took the 01, I've been patiently waiting for him just to run a General Lee paint scheme, and so far this is the closest we've got. I haven't said like, hey, run a Dukes of Hazzard paint scheme just because. Just because I don't want to be that guy, but this is the closest we've gotten to a general.
And he's going to go down pit road to... Well, I thought he was, but I think he missed the cone. We'll see. As he's going to go down and fix that right front damage. I think that was where he took most of the impact on that wall was the right front. We have, it looks like, 4 cars down pit road, including Will Paisley, who was a part of that wreck to bring out that caution.
Chuck Felt's getting your lucky dog.
That will bring 20
on the lead lap.
Yep, 20 cars on the lead lap now after that.
Speaking of sports seasons, one of the greatest sports seasons starts here pretty soon. I believe hockey starts.
I will have to disagree on that one, but I've watched it here and there, but I could probably survive without hockey ever existing, but I know people are going to hate on me for that one, but
oh yeah, it's there's a bit of a rivalry in our family. My brother, my dad, my mom, my aunt, my uncle, they're all avid, diehard St. Louis Blues fans. And because me and my brother started watching hockey about the same time, I wasn't about to pick the same team as him because that's not fun.
That's basically, that was kind of me with, except it wasn't a brother. It was everybody that I watched college sports around followed IU, just because, I mean, that's Indiana has it in the title of the college, and so everybody I knew supported them, so I went towards Purdue, and that's basically the only reason I started supporting them was because everybody else supported IU, and I didn't want to support the same team.
As a diehard Irish fan, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
Well, other than a couple of teams in basketball, we're never usually too competitive in anything, especially not football.
Oh, God,
no. Drew Brees was the only flash in Purdue football. That was about it.
And the best sport, in my opinion, besides NASCAR, Supercross next weekend.
I think I've gone to one Supercross event.
This year marks the end of an 8 or 9 year streak of my dad, my brother, and I going to Supercross.
Oh, that sucks.
COVID killed yet another thing.
Darn you, COVID.
I'm pretty bummed out because, like, I mean, that's the one thing I look forward to is during my off season for motocross is Supercross, going to a Supercross race, watching dirt bikes, race fuel, and just the whole atmosphere is insane. And then the parking garage where everyone's all riled up, revving their trucks, honking their horns, talking crap. It's the best. Buying bootleg T-shirts in the parking garage for $5.
Yeah. Jamie Barkus, another great restart. It's going to get him out in front of Patrick Drabick. Jesse Necula once again trying to clear William Griffith for the 3rd position. Here comes Clint Reist up to the 5th position over Tanner Marr. Clint Reist, we know he's been fast. He's just been stuck back in traffic with damage, and here he comes with a pretty fresh car.
That 2 car is a missile.
William Griffith into the wall again, down into Clint Reist, and into the wall.
Oh, not off the wall.
And a caution should come out here, whether it's from Race Control or iRacing. There it is. Very unlucky for Clint there. Nowhere to go. Basically, I already saw what happened, but we'll take you back to see what happened again. William Griffith gets really high up under the wall, keeps it out, but then gets back into it. And Clint Reist nowhere to go. And then I think he gets into Tanner Marr as well, spinning him out. Nope, he's able to save it. A lot of damage to that 2 car there on the front. Kind of hard to see because it's a black car, but you can see the hood pretty messed up. We'll see if he uses the quick repair, or if he gets just the regular fix.
Man, the lady in black is not a fan of the 2 car tonight.
I don't know if this track's a fan of anybody. Oh, as we see the leaders come down pit road, kind of surprised. We haven't had many green flag laps on these tires.
I believe there's unlimited tires, so I mean, there's no reason for them to not come down.
Gonna see a lot of the pack come down pit road.
Unlimited tire sets in the race. I mean, burn them if you got them.
Scotty Stevens, Jeff Paisley, Chuck Felt, and Will Paisley stay out. So a little bit of a differing pit strategy here. We've seen Will Paisley use pit strategy last week at Martinsville, I believe, to use that to his advantage. So he's going to try to do it again here at Darlington.
Looks like he's going to sit and get it repaired the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, I think you really just want to save that quick repair for motor damage more than just damage to the external parts of the car. So I think it's pretty smart to just get it fixed the hard way. We'll see how it works out for him.
Yeah, just pay attention where that pace car is.
Yep, as you see it coming out of turn 4 there. Probably see him split soon.
Yeah, you see a lot of cars peeling off pit roads so they don't go a lap down.
And
He's better get to going.
That might be required damage, to be honest with you.
It very well could be.
Required damage he has to get fixed. And I mean, maybe you got to wonder if he wanted to get the quick repair and just forgot to check it and had to get the required. Once you get the required, you're kind of stuck.
I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's bad timing.
That's still a sensitive subject.
We won't go any further into that championship as we will have to.
Well, in a twisted way, I did receive the championship prize. As the championship prize was a custom button box from our very own Joaquin Mesa.
Oh yeah,
Matt won it, but Matt runs VR, so Matt had no use to it. So he's like, just give it to Alex.
Well, there you go.
And I'm going to get the label maker out. I'm just gonna a button away from everything else for the to toggle the fast repair. I'm just gonna put oof under it.
Oof. I need to get me a button box for streaming.
Well, he's revved the motor to get it to start, so Lights on the pace car are off. Maybe he'll get peeled out here.
That's going to be 2 laps for him now, so
That's 2 laps.
that's going to be tough to come back from. We probably will have a couple more cautions, so those will be opportunities for him to potentially get a lap back, but you never want to go 2 laps down with around 80 laps to go anywhere.
Yeah, we're just under halfway. It no longer shows his driver in the car, so I'm not sure what's going on.
He might have hopped out of there. Unfortunate night for Clint. He was looking really fast early on. And he was looking fast right there before that happened.
I just noticed Brandon Wallace still has no hood.
With pit strategy, Scotty Stevens, Jeff Paisley, Chuck Feltz, and Will Paisley, your top 4 front 2 rows. And Scotty Stevens going to hold them pretty much the same as Jamie Barkus has. Green flag is out. Nice restart from the top 4. Stacked up behind him, Jesse Necula looking to the bottom of Jamie Barkus, but Barkus able to run away from him and now look to try to pass the 75 of Chuck Feltz. See how these pit strategies work out for these guys. The front 3 of
Michael Swink around.
Michael Swink. No, that's Mickey Isaac. Mickey Isaac is around too. So it looks like it was between these 2. I went to go to Michael Swink and I went to Mickey Isaac. And he just so happened to be turned around. See what happened here. Oh. Brandon Wallace. So Brandon Wallace gets into the wall, gets into Longenecker, and Longenecker hits Mickey Isaac, and Mickey Isaac hits the wall. So unfortunate for Mickey Isaac there, and like you said, I think Michael Swink was a single car. So 2 different wrecks and 2 different stories. Michael Swink just spins himself, and well, Mickey Isaac had nowhere to go with 2 cars on his outside. They almost made huge contact there. As you're going to see those guys, a part of those wrecks, come down pit road. Mickey Isaac, Brandon Wallace, I think, are the only 2. Michael Swink as well.
So, as usual, I pulled up my my random fun facts of each track. Most wins this fabled racetrack. Any guesses?
I have. I mean, Petty's got to be one of them, right?
Well, this is just what Wikipedia said. David Pearson with 10 wins. Most top 5s here is Richard Petty. Most top 10s is the Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Most starts is Richard Petty, and most poles is David Pearson with 12.
I don't think anyone beats Richard Petty in most starts anywhere.
Well, no. Most laps led. Any guesses?
Most laps led? Oh,
yes.
No, you got... Nope. I ain't got no guesses there.
Dale Sr.
Dale Sr.? Well, a tough racetrack for a tough man, so, I mean, that would make sense. How many wins did he have, do you know?
Does not say. I'm just on Wikipedia. If I went to the NASCAR results log page, I can't remember what it's called, I can find all that fun stuff.
Here, I'll do some work, too. Won't make you do all of it.
So my favorite thing to do is Google little fun facts about each track we go to. Fun fact about the track next week, it will probably be warehouses within the next 5 years. Because that's how Chicago works.
So here's a fun fact for you. So Dale Earnhardt, his first win at Darlington was in the 15, not the 3. The other, so it says Dale has, at what I'm looking at, it says he has 9 wins at Darlington. One came in the 15, 8 came in the 3.
Racingreferences.info is the website I was talking about.
Going to see who can pull off the win tonight at Darlington. So far, Jamie Barkas and Patrick Drabik, you see them lined up in front and behind each other in that outside line, 69 and the 07. Those two have been up front the majority of the race. Clint Reese early on looked pretty dominant, but ever since that, he's been part of some unfortunate events. One of them was his own doing, and the other, well, you saw earlier, just got collected in a wreck he couldn't do anything about. So, unfortunate for him, but still 75 laps to go, and looks like we're halfway now. So green flag's out. Scotty Stevens, a great restart. Will Paisley to the inside of his father, and he's going to be able to clear for that second position. Jamie Barkas looking to take the 4th position away from Jesse Necula.
Jesse Necula, that's a good-looking Rebels Racing Network machine right there.
I didn't even notice it. We got to take a look at this now. Shout out to you. That's a nice paint scheme.
It's on the deck lid of my truck too, between the roll cage bars.
Oh yeah. Nice. Love it. I was lucky to have Matt Geis. He made a Rebels Racing Network paint scheme for his Cup car, and I asked him if he could make one for a truck so that I could run on Sunday nights if you watch the broadcasts. And he very kindly did that for me. So if you do watch the Sunday nights and haven't seen my paint scheme, definitely look out for it. Again, made by Matt Geis, and it's a really nice paint scheme.
Can't miss it. It's a sharp car.
Jamie Barkas looking to the back bumper of Jeff Paisley for the 3rd position. So, caution's out.
Ray Page looks like went around.
A lot of damage to that car.
Got into the draft of the 17, and around she went. Hit about 4 cars on its way around.
Gets loose into the turn, snaps on him, and I think Netcode kind of saved. I can't see who that is. The 051, so Joshua Sexton. Netcode saves him from getting wrecked, I believe, because it looked like they would have made contact.
The 6 barely squeaked by, thanks to Netcode.
It's definitely one thing you're going to deal with when you get iRacing, and it's not always good like that. Sometimes Netcode can get you wrecked, so thankfully for those guys, they were able to squeak by him and stay out of the wreck. See if we have anybody down pit road. Yeah, you do have the 41. And Clint Reese still down pit road. So looks like the damages might have been to the motor as well. So when he went in for required, the required were probably a lot more than he thought it would be.
I mean, props to him for staying in the race and going to wait it out. Because, I mean, if you leave, you're going to end up probably finishing 25th. Whereas if he stays in, no matter how many laps down, people are going to quit out. I mean, that's more positions he can gain.
Yeah, and he's not in it for the points. So, especially since he's not in it for the points and he's still sticking it out. Shout out to Clint for staying in the race. He's still on pit road, as you see, obviously, but eventually that car will get fixed, hopefully. Now to lap 80, and well, tonight's race really I said it earlier, but one green flag lap sandwiched in between a lot of caution laps.
Yeah, it's getting late in the race, and I think people are starting to get a little antsy in their pantsy.
You know, between it's go-go time from my dad and then antsy in the pantsy from you, we got a couple of
I forgot about the go-go time.
a couple of quotes that might go into the Hall of Fame quotes that isn't even made.
Then there's the wiggled and the waggled.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Oh man, we got to make something for that.
Logan, we need shirts.
It's go-go time. Like that made me. That was absolutely. I couldn't. I had to mute my mic, I think, when my dad said that, to keep myself from absolutely bursting out on stream, because it was so unexpected. And I think
Makes you wonder if Darrell Waltrip talked over with the boys if he was about the whole boogity thing.
I mean, hey, I wouldn't have wanted those broadcasts started any other way. It's missing. It's missed in these broadcasts now that Fox does. But
No, it's not.
I miss it. I think it brought at least something fun to the beginning of the race, rather than what's his face just saying his green flag's out like I do. I'm boring.
Nope, Dad mutes the TV every time.
Well, Clint Boyer's coming to the booth this year, so see what he adds to it.
Wild Kansas boy, he's gonna say something off the wall.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when the first cuss word's going to be dropped by him by accident.
I don't see him making it through Daytona.
We're going to be doing the clashes, and you're going to see the broadcast cut out.
Clint's probably one of my favorite drivers, just because of his personality. He was probably one of the best on pit road.
Yeah, he's going to, I'm looking forward to him being in the booth. I didn't really care about him as we sing single file restarts now. So they're going to change it up, and we're going to get some single file restarts to hopefully get some green flag laps.
Scotty Stevens in the green flag because I am delayed on my broadcast.
Green flag is out. Scotty Stevens. Nice jump
Jeff
there.
Paisley, Marcus, and Jerbick, your top 5. That's what I was going to talk about.
Oh. Yeah, Jamie Barkus still trying to work on Jeff Paisley for that third position. We saw that happening right before the caution came out. And he's going to try to get back up there near the lead. Led a majority of the laps after he beat Clint Reist off of pit road earlier in the race. And now he's just kind of been stuck back after those guys called a little bit of a pit strategy. Scotty Stevens, Will Paisley, and Jeff Paisley staying out while the others pit. And it looks like Clint Reist, it's showing him on pit road. So looks like he's going to be joining these guys back on track sooner. Hopefully sooner than later.
He is rolling down pit road.
As you see the leader, Scotty Stevens, going by him. And Jamie Barkus trying to look to the inside of Jeff Paisley. And you mentioned these two teammates, Barkus and Jerbick. They're going to try to help each other get past Jeff Paisley here. We'll see if Barkus is able to stay to his inside long enough. Oh, I thought there might have been a little bit of contact there.
The 07 dove in as the window was closing, and luckily Jeff saw it and was able to open it back up.
Yep, and both of them make a move as they're going to work together to try to get past these drivers up here that stayed out. Now only 2 in front of them, Scotty Stevens and Will Paisley. Will Paisley, he's been fast enough to be a top 5 car, but we just haven't seen him up there near the lead. But still a nice race from him, but he is about to be under fire from these two.
Clint Reist has rolled off pit road. He is back on the track.
Now Barkus looking to the inside of Will Paisley, and he's going to dive down and take that. And Will Paisley gets into the wall. and he's able to keep it out of both of those drivers. So nice job by him, kind of hugging the wall and not coming down into either Barkus or Jerbick. And now those two only have one more driver in front of them to get to the lead, and that is Scotty Stevens in the 53.
On a little bit older tires, I'm not exactly sure what the different pit strategy is, but
Scotty Stevens last pit on lap 48, and Jamie Barkus on 67. See a lot of drivers there pit on lap 67, 61 for Will Paisley.
And 53 just needs to click off laps and run away while he can, because there are sharks in the water.
See how hungry the sharks are, coming to 60 laps to go.
They're coming in hot and heavy.
See how long.
Scotty Stevens, that's a name we haven't seen all season, is it?
Yeah, I've seen him in other series running the 2. I think in the Thunderstruck Super Series, but yeah, I don't know if we've seen him too much in the Xtreme Xfinity Series. But now he is under fire. Got passed by Jamie Barkus, now side by side with Jerbick. Both of those two being careful to not hit the wall and get together. Now Jerbick looking to take that spot into turn 1. He does. And Jamie Barkus and Patrick Jerbick back up to the front 2 spots.
Barkus trying to capitalize on the time it took for Jerbick to get around to try to run away from him.
Yeah, we saw Jerbick very close to Jamie Barkus throughout the entire green flag run that we had earlier, so I think these two are very close in speed.
Barkus still has that damage on the left front.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier when we were checking out paint schemes, that he still had that left front damage, and he just has, track position has been more key to him than fixing that damage, and it's obviously worked out so far.
Who knows, maybe to change the aero and the car drives better.
Anything to make the car drive better here, you'll do, definitely.
I can't remember where I was. I think I was racing dirt and I smacked the wall somewhere and the car never drove better.
Oh, the oddities of just racing in general. What can happen. I was going to say stock car racing, but racing in any sort of way can just, the oddities can creep their way in and work out for you somehow. Like you mentioned with the damage making the car feel better.
And the sad thing is, it was in practice, so I couldn't replicate it in the race.
Might as well not practice with this, because I don't plan on trying to do it. I don't want to hit that wall and hopefully get motor damage in the race. Charles Stevens here, right in front of Tia Swank and Ray Page, fighting for position there for the 11th spot. Tia, a good amount of right front damage to that car, but still rolling pretty nice. And he's actually trying to catch Charles Stevens for that spot. Ooh, and Ray Page to the inside. That's going to hurt Tia Swank, and they're going to... Oh, man. Ray Page squeezed to try to get to the outside and almost hit the left front of Tia Swank. And troubles for Charles Stevens. I think he's just going to let those two get by and drive some smooth laps by himself, so he's not with those two.
That was some cold trickle driving right there out of the 41.
And caution's out right in front of our leaders. Try to see who this is.
30.
Michael Swink. More trouble
Yep.
for Michael Swink.
Yet another victim from the turn 2 wall. Oh, no, this was turn 4.
I told you earlier, I can't get the turns right whenever I'm looking at them. Because they have, oh, yeah, a lot of damage there. Or a lot of contact to that outside wall. I don't know. I think you were right. I think that was the turn 2 wall.
No, because you can see the pit entrance cone.
As speaking of pit entrance, well, oh, that's why. I was trying to switch to my pit lane camera and it was not doing it, but thankfully I figured it out.
Nope, that was turn 2. You're right.
The only way I can tell the difference, honestly, because they both have stands, is the markings on the ground on the front stretch. You don't see those on the back stretch.
That's right. Darlington has 2 pit roads. The other one, which is not used.
Jamie Barkus with that
forgot about that.
number 1 pit stall. See if it works out for him as he does. Both him and Drabick pull out. Justin Hendry looking to be in the 3rd position at a pit road, and he will. Nobody stayed out on the lead lap. Come to lap 100, so 50 laps to go upcoming in this race. A tough race for all drivers when you come to Darlington, so these drivers just want this next 50 laps to go by as quickly as it can and get as far away from this track as they can.
We'll be going back to a double file restart, and Quint Reese should get a wave around here, I believe. Yep, him and Eric Santi will get the wave around.
How many laps will that put him down?
12 showing currently.
Tough night for Clint, but props to him for getting through it and staying out on track. See if we get the 1 to go motion here as we come to 50 laps to go. I wonder if Clint Reese got the quick repair after that required damage just to get all of that. Oh no, it looks like the back of his car is still pretty messed up, so.
Yep, there he takes the wave around.
Lights are off on the pace car, and Jamie Barkus, once again, your control car after passing Scotty Stevens, who stayed out last time around. And, well, Scotty, with staying out, was able to come in that last time, and looks like he's going to be on the same tires, and it's going to work out for him. He's going to be in the top 6. Jesse Necula, Justin Hendry, your second row. Jeff Paisley, who was in early trouble, is now in the 5th position.
Stacking them up as we come out of turn 4. Jamie Barkus holding them, and, well, looks like Trebek was right there with him.
Yeah, but those two really been working together this entire race, and so I'm not sure, if it's later in the race, if we get the same result. I think Trebek might have stayed on his outside a little bit better there if we were racing for the win. And wrecking behind him, Tia Swank. Heavy contact to the inside wall. Him and Ray Page get together. See what happens here. Out of the turn 2. A little bit of contact with left rear with Ray Page and Tia Swank, and Tia Swank pays dearly. See if anybody but Ray Page goes down pit road, or sorry, Tia Swank. I apologize. I was trying to think of who actually got turned. Tia Swank. We'll see if he should go down pit road, or maybe not. A lot of damage to that car, though, so we'll see if he comes around the next time or so. And we'll give you guys another look at the point standings while we're under caution here. Front 2 in this race are in the top 2 in the points. Patrick Trebek, who's in second right now, currently leading the points, 22 points over Jamie Barkus. So Jamie Barkus, he's in as good of a position as he could be right now to help himself in the points. It just does not help him that Patrick Trebek is right behind him.
Yeah, but it still looks good when both the cars on your team are the top 2.
Looks like, I think Lance Sponberg gets the lucky dog. See Jesse Nekula third in points, 6 points behind Barkus, so he's 28 behind Patrick Trebek and currently in the 4th position. So top 3 in points are in the top 4 currently in the race. And Justin Hendry, who's 9th in points, occupying that 3rd position.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cars having a bad race there in front of them, so Hendry could move up big chunks tonight. Yeah. Zach Wilson not here, Michael Swink, Brandon Wallace, William Griffith. I'm not even sure where Griff is now.
He is
Griffith's
9th.
in 9th. Yeah.
Josh
Oswald. A lot of real estate for Hendry to gain.
Oswald currently 15th. Like we just mentioned, Griffith 9th. Swink is in 20th. And like you mentioned, Zach Wilson not racing tonight. So, the points up to Josh Oswald and them are still pretty steep, but Hendry can at least shorten the points in between himself and those guys for next week when we go to Chicago. Speaking of Chicago, our championship race next week, 150 laps to decide a champion. It's not win the race to win the championship, but we still might have a pretty good race to the championship in Chicago. 225 miles that will decide that one, and then we'll have a couple weeks and we'll start up season 2. Or I imagine. We haven't seen the schedule yet.
There's been a tentative schedule, but I'm not sure where it is now.
Been a really fun season to broadcast. These guys have put on a great show every single track they go to. Places like Watkins Glen, Martinsville, and here. I mean, we've had a good amount of caution laps, but this is a tough track. So shout out to these drivers that show up every single week and make this a fun series to watch and broadcast.
If I recall correctly, I remember Logan wanted to start the season at iRacing Super Speedway.
I do remember you saying that, and that is a very dangerous game that he's playing.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I'm not sure if I could contain myself to call that race. I might have to race that one and call it from my driver's seat.
Jamie Barkas is off. Green flag is out. Justin Hendry able to keep that third position, and really the top 10 are all single filed out. Scotty Stevens, who stayed out before that last caution where everybody pit came out, so he's able to maintain a top 5 position after doing a little bit of a pit strategy.
Yeah, he's got a big run on the 29 in Necula.
There's nowhere to go with it right now. He's kind of getting the runs on him in the wrong places. You want to get the runs at the exit of the turn so that you can get up next to him on the front stretch or the back stretch. So when you get a good run on somebody in the middle of the turn, but not the exit, it can kind of hurt you. And Elliot Longenecker just fell back, so I think he was a part of a wreck. We'll see. Yeah, he's in the pits now.
It's really tough when you get the runs at the wrong time.
Caution is out, and it looks like Elliot Longenecker might have been another self-spin here at Darlington. Not something that is an oddity. Right behind Tanner Marr there. Ooh, hits the wall. There's that turn 2 wall. Once again, just eats you up.
Yeah, I found the rough draft schedule, and it's got tracks like Rockingham, Vegas, Milwaukee, Iowa, Dover, Indy Raceway Park, Worldwide Technology Speedway.
Y'all just didn't want to make it any easier on them, did you?
Daytona Road Course.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah, and then it's got playoff rounds of 12 at Dover, Kentucky, North Wilkesboro, playoff rounds of 8, Darlington, Dega, and Richmond, and the championship 4 at Phoenix. Is what he has rough drafted about a month ago.
Ooh, so we're doing a championship 4, all right.
I think we're starting to implement the the whole chase format here in Original Rebels.
That's gonna keep me on my toes because I gotta start figuring out how to color code people's names so that you can tell if they're in the chase or not for the championship.
Oh, I thought you were referencing to keep you on the toes at the end of the season. I'm like, okay,
no.
Mr. 3 straight wins.
No, I wouldn't say that kind of thing. I got lucky that last win, and just about everybody could agree, including Jason Warren. I know he's watching tonight. He and I both know that I shouldn't have won that race. But, I mean, you'll take a win whenever you can get one, obviously.
I believe Jason Warren won the. Did he win the Thunderstruck?
Yep.
Championship?
Yes, sir, he did. Last night he finished. He was in a good position to win. Just a tough tough restart on a green-white checkered had him finishing 7th, but he still won the championship, and that kind of just said about him. How good or consistent and good he is throughout the season to be in a position where he can finish 7th and win the championship.
I am not an open setup guy. I wanted to play with it in that series, but I'm just not an open setup guy.
Hey, me neither, man. Me neither.
I'm a driver. I just know how to drive the car and tell you how bad it drives. Ask my dad. There's a conversation in the general group chat of the Discord, people asking, what crew chief do you use? Like, oh, the Jimmy Johnson cuss pack. I use this. And I chimed in like, yeah, I use the Mike V crew chief app.
I gotta say, Purdue basketball, we were down by 15 in the second half against Michigan State. Came back and won 55-54.
Notre Dame basketball hasn't been good in a hot minute. By God, our women's basketball team, they won back-to-back votes.
Yeah. I turned that game off because I had to get ready for the broadcasts. And I was like, watch them come back while I'm not watching it. And that's exactly what they did. And I'm not even going to be upset about it because I had a reason to stop watching and they came back. So a win is a win. Especially against a ranked team.
Here coming up on, I think it'll come up on my members here pretty soon. But Western Illinois University, the local college, beat ranked Wisconsin a couple years ago.
Oh, wow. That's not something you see every day.
Wisconsin was so sure they were going to win, they had a scheduled tweet to go out saying how good of a game it was and that they're going to win.
Reckon Scotty Stevens is having a nice run in the top 8. A massive damage or contact with Tanner Marr. And he's upside down, and unless he gets help, he's going to have to tow. Let's see if somebody helps him out. Nope, he's going to get a tow. Huge hit there. And we're going to go back and see what all transpired there.
Looks like it starts with a 75. Yep, Chuck bounces off the wall and nowhere to go for a lot of guys.
So up here with Scotty Stevens, it was Necula came off the wall and ran into Scotty Stevens, and we're going to go back here with, I thought that was Tanner Marr, it is. Tries to avoid it, nowhere to go. Oh. Was there another wreck that happened?
Yeah, where it starts is Chuck Phelps bounces off the wall out of 2, comes down into Tanner Marr, pushing him down there, and Arca braked the 53.
Oh, gets tight, gets into Tanner Marr. Yep, the 81. Clint Reese, more bad luck. He's able to get through the other wreck, though. Big wreck and separate wrecks there, not to mention. Coming up to close to 35 laps to go once we cross the start-finish line here. A race kind of riddled with a lot of cautions. One nice green flag run that we had, about 20 laps or so.
We had 2 decent long ones.
What was the other one?
They're almost back-to-back, really, but after that, it's...
A lot of cautions tonight, but, can't blame them. It's Darlington. It's tough to avoid that wall or tough to avoid a wreck that happens in front of you or around you.
Yeah, we were expecting mayhem and chaos.
Yeah, honestly, to get those couple of green flag runs was kind of a nice bonus. And this says nothing to these drivers, or nothing about these drivers. But when you come to Darlington, you kind of expect cautions. So to have those couple of green flag runs was pretty nice. Nice job by these guys. And, well, as the later we've gotten into this race, the aggressiveness has gone up, and it's caused a few more cautions than you'd like. But it's Darlington, and it happens. See if the lights go off on the pace car once we get around to the front stretch. I see grandstands and I automatically think we're in the front stretch, and then I get reminded that both sides have grandstands.
We are on the track. Where, we don't know. We are on it.
We know that we hear cars in our ears on track. And yep, they are off. So we're gonna restart. Come to 32 laps to go. Actually 33. Coming down to the go-go time, as Sam Wetstein would say. I don't know if he's watching tonight, but if you are, it's go-go time. Oh, I know he's going to say that tomorrow night in the Cup broadcast.
He's just going to say it out of spite at this point.
He's like, everybody's expecting me to say it now.
Sam, I just out of spite, you should say like every green flag.
Jamie Barkus, Patrick Derbick, Justin Hendry, Jesse Necula, Jeff Paisley, and Joshua Sexton, your top 6. First 3 rows there. William Griffith, and I can't tell who that is behind him. Charles Stevens. Green flag is out. Another great restart from our top 2 with Jamie Barkus and Patrick Derbick. Third place, Justin Hendry and Jesse Necula behind him. So these guys getting singled out pretty quick. Trying to see if there's any racing going on. Joshua Sexton's kind of getting up to the back bumper of Jeff Paisley, and I just got a text from my dad, time to go time. So he is watching tonight. That's good to know. Oh, man, that's funny. As I think we have some racing going up on here. We see Justin Hendry. We haven't seen much of this tonight, but we're starting to see somebody else creep into this battle for the top 2. And just as I say that, Patrick Derbick and Jamie Barkus start to pull away again. Seems like today. It seems like these two definitely have this track down the best out of this group tonight. We'll see if that changes late in this race with now 30 laps to go. But so far, other than Clint Reese, we haven't seen any other driver outpace these two. And I still think that Derbick is faster than Jamie Barkus. He's just still being patient behind him, waiting until probably that 10 to go or less.
I've been informed when I couldn't, the caution we had where we couldn't tell if we're on the back stretch or the front stretch. I've been informed that they swapped the back stretch and the front stretch a few years ago, so technically you are still right when you are wrong.
Oh, okay.
That is Mike Veetham quote. All
right. Well, good to know that I can be right even when I'm wrong. I'll try to use that in anything when I'm wrong. I'm right. I know I'm wrong, but I'm right. He's top 2, currently now a second ahead of Justin Hendry. So just as quickly as Hendry came into that battle, these two have started to pull away from him. Like I mentioned, a second over those two, and almost 2 seconds ahead of 4th place. So these two really know how to get it done at Darlington.
Yeah, the only other track I can remember that I can think of that they swapped the front stretch and the back stretch is Phoenix.
But they haven't even done that in iRacing yet. Phoenix, the front stretch is still the front stretch. I don't know why it's that hard for iRacing to move the line, but it seems to be.
One thing I want in iRacing is I want the Juan Pablo match at the Juan Pablo patch at Daytona.
Simple as that, iRacing.
I mean, I don't want it, like, you don't have to go and laser scan that patch and graft it in the track. Just give me the visual, please. It's just, it visually pleases me. I remember watching that race live, and that was a good race. That's when we learned that Brad Keselowski has a glove box in his race car for his cell phone.
Oh, caution's out with 26 laps to go.
99 is involved.
Brandon Wallace. Michael Swink also a part of
Yep.
it, so very unlucky race for Michael Swink. Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
You've broke it.
I have broken it, and something's about to pop up. Not sure what I clicked on, but something's about to pop up on the screen.
Michael Swink with the goodies headache of the race.
Not sure how much he'll like that one, but
I'm almost half tempted to see if we can't talk to him after the race.
let's not do that to him. As Brandon Wallace gets into the wall and heavy contact for Swink. Nowhere to go for the 30 machine. And that brings out a caution with now 25 laps to go. And we're going to go back racing with 22 or 23. So we're coming down to it. And we're going to see just how much longer Patrick Drabik can be patient. As we're going to see these guys come down to pit road now.
Last chance to get fresh stickers. Make it count.
See if anybody stays out here on the lead lap. Don't imagine we will. And nope, looks like everybody on the lead lap has come down to pit road. That goes all the way back. Looks like Brandon Wallace and Chuck Phelps haven't pit yet.
The Chuck Phelps, I believe, has the lucky dog yet again.
Okay. So yeah, Brandon Wallace stays out. I think we'll probably see him down pit road next time. Because he has a lot of damage to that car.
I mean, he ran half the race without a hood.
That's true.
And then he put a hood back on it, and now the hood's gone again.
Yep, the hood is gone. Jamie Barkas once again wins the race out of pit road. Patrick Drabik, Justin Hendry, Jesse Nekula, Jeff Paisley, the first 5 off of pit road. Well, the first thing I'm doing after this broadcast is over is finding the highlights to that game, because I need to see what happened for that to happen.
I don't know. I caved, and I have finally purchased Car Mechanic Simulator on Steam.
I saw that.
So now I play a simulation game about my job.
That's like my father getting Truck Simulator to drive a truck around the country on a simulator and in real. Well, he doesn't drive around the country in real life, but
Yeah, I got American Truck Sim too. It's a good time killer. But yeah, I am sucked into Car Mechanic Simulator. I work on cars all day, and I come home, I get on the computer. If there's nothing good on iRacing, then I play a game about my job. And I'm hooked. What really drew me into that game was the whole like car restoration thing. And today I played for about an hour and I completed my first full restoration. So
nice.
High note for me. So now I got to save up more money to go buy another car to restore.
Because of course, that's what it is. You restore one car, then you use that money to use more money to restore another car. Money, money, money. Wonder if there's
So
a
next
money
time-
simulator out there.
Next time I have to, well, the next one I'm going to buy a car that I don't really care about. Because the one I did, of course, there's licensed vehicles. I don't have any of the packs of the licensed vehicles, but it's kind of like a knockoff third gen Camaro. I'm like, I'm keeping that one.
Not selling it, huh?
As much as I want to for the money to fund other projects, I'm going to keep it for now.
Well, 22 laps to go, 21 when we go back to Green Flag Racing. per usual, Jamie Barkus and Patrick Drbick, your front two. Justin Hendry, third. Jesse Nekula, fourth. And Jeff Paisley rounding out your top five. And let's see if this restart goes to where Patrick Drbick might, stick onto that gas pedal a little bit more and stay to the outside of Jamie Barkus if he can.
Yeah, it's late in the race. I don't think Barkus will be filling Drbick in on the restart procedure.
Yeah, great restart from Jamie Barkus, and that might cause... Nope, Drbick is able to clear Justin Hendry for that second position. 21 laps to go, and once again, we're pretty single-filed out throughout the top 10 and probably throughout the field. As quickly as you can get single-filed is better.
There hasn't been anybody who's had a challenge for the 69 or the 07 besides the 2 car. I mean, this is really the class of the field tonight, what's left of it.
Yep, and they are once again nose to tail. 20 laps to go here at Darlington Raceway for the Back the Blue 150 here in the Xtreme Xfinity Series. One more race to go on the schedule after tonight, so this is a very important race for both of these guys, Jamie Barkus and Patrick Drbick, for the points. So coming down to the wire for both drivers. Justin Hendry, who not in the points battle, but he's trying to get as far up in the point standings as he can in the third position, having a nice race.
Patrick Drbick wants to get a run and trying to get around Barkus for the first time tonight.
Yeah, this is where these both of these drivers have sat all night. Is Patrick Drbick being behind Jamie Barkus and kind of just relaxing and running his own pace and not trying to run Jamie Barkus too hard. But with 18 laps to go, he's gonna have to start going soon.
It's go time.
Yeah, my father said, "That's mine," and then said, "Haha." So he might have made that his own. I mean, he did say it, but we might have seen him. I guess not. I'm trying to think of the word. Copyright it. He trying to copyright the phrase.
Yeah, mine's kind of fancy. I mean, I've been hit and miss with it all season, but yeah, kick the tires and light the fires.
Yeah, we didn't see that today.
I was not ready. I was expecting this to be a two pace lap track. And it's like, oh hey, the pace car's gone now.
Looks like we have a nice little battle going on for the fourth position. Joshua Sexton trying to get to Jesse Nekula for that fourth spot. Jesse Nekula up 9 spots. He's started this race 13th, so currently in the fourth position, having a nice race. Joshua Sexton, where he started the race, currently in 5th. So both drivers you see there on screen having a nice one. Let's talk a little bit with 15 laps to go here about kind of our movers throughout the race. Josh Oswald, who we've seen have some trouble, up 16 spots from his starting position, currently in the 8th position. And Mickey Isaac right behind him, 14 spots up from where he started. So, and then I'll actually go further. Charles Stevens in the 88, behind those two, 15 spots up from where he started in the 25th position. So, a lot of movers throughout this race.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ray, you can go even further. Ray Page, 21st to 11th.
Yep. Nice race for him. And Chuck Phelps in the 75. He's had a pretty rough race, but he still finds himself in 14th. He started this race 26th, so.
Oh, Chuck, he's a good dude.
We're starting to see Jamie Barkus gap Patrick Drbick now. Something we really haven't seen him do. We've seen these two be almost bumper to bumper, and now about a 4/10 lead over Drbick.
A little story about the 75. I met him racing in the Poleman Racing League, and I kind of brought him over. and we were racing in Atlanta, and I washed up in a corner, and I doored him.
Oh,
And
right, wrecking right in front of him.
He apologized to me for me dooring him.
Tia Swank was up on his roof, but it looks like the motor is completely gone in that one. Oh, I think something... No, it might have just been a self-spin.
I don't know.
No, I think there was spinning in front of him. Yep. Oh, Ray Page comes up the track and huge contact between the two drivers. Nowhere to go. Yeah, nowhere to go for that car, and that's gonna... The motor's not in that car anymore. It's probably in the stands at this point.
If it goes in the stands, it's a souvenir, right?
I mean, hey, if you live, you can take it home, I guess. It's probably going to be a very hot souvenir. Well, next time we go green flag racing, we're going to be under 10 laps to go now. So, another opportunity for guys like Jerbick, Hendry, Nekula, and even Joshua Sexton to try to take this lead away from Jamie Barkas. We saw Barkas really starting to extend that lead over Jerbick before that caution came out, so he's probably not a happy camper with that caution coming out. Well, Jamie Barkas, Patrick Jerbick, Justin Hendry, Jesse Nekula, Joshua Sexton, Jeff Paisley, William Griffith, Mickey Isaac, Charles Stevens, and Josh Oswald are your top 10, along with Tyler Rice, Chuck Phelps, Lance Sponberg, Brandon Wallace, and Ray Page, rounding out the drivers on the lead lap, though Ray Page, with that damage, is probably going to go a lap down. So Brandon Wallace in 14th, going to be the last car on the lead lap.
It's really kind of been a war of attrition so far. A lot of fast cars out. We saw Clint Reese. He's 11 laps down. He was up there battling. Elliot Longenecker, same thing. Will Paisley, same thing.
Oh man, my VR decided to turn on. What was... Well, come on, VR? Why you gotta do it to me? My VR decided to just randomly turn on.
Well, I heard like the windows...
That's what happens when it turns on. And now it's causing my stuff to be
what connected on my computer?
Oh no, now my stuff's lagging? Come on. Is my VR headset going to screw me over like this?
It looks like it's back to normal.
Not nice. And I'm afraid to exit it out because I'm afraid it's going to do that again. I hope it doesn't really mess up the stream. Looks like the audio and everything is good. That was not cool, VR.
Even Darlington's trying to sabotage the broadcast crew.
They're like, hey, go turn the broadcaster's VR headset on real quick. That was probably the most random thing I've seen in a while. I'm not even gonna bother it because I bet if I exit it out, it'll do that again while we're having a restart with 7 laps to go.
In worst case scenario, I just do it old MRN style.
Radio broadcast from here on out.
That's how, unfortunately, I had to take in most races this season because for some reason it seemed like every Sunday I was going somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
It's not unusual, though. I mean, with racing motocross, all my Sundays were spent on the road, so I spent a lot of time listening to the races on the radio, driving home from motocross.
7 laps to go, coming this time by for these drivers here at Darlington Raceway. Jamie Barkas is off. Green flag, but Patrick Drabik, a pretty good jump, but he's just not able to get to that outside. So Jamie Barkas with another great restart gets that 69 machine out to the lead, but it's not going to be an easy one to the finish. You know Patrick Drabik's going to throw all he can at Jamie here to end the race.
Yeah, he's looked at the back of that 69 machine all night. He wants to get in front of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be tough to pass him. Even if Drabik's able to get to Jamie, it's going to be a difficult pass, especially with coming to only 5 laps to go. So if Jamie can keep his car clean and out of the wall, it's looking pretty good. Also, hopefully no caution that comes out of nowhere that's not his fault, obviously, and that can happen as we've seen tonight at Darlington.
Now we're under 4 to go.
4 to go this time by,
stripe,
yep.
So anything after this, I believe, will be green white checker territory.
Yep. Going across the line, 4 laps to go now here at Darlington Raceway for the back, the blue 150. Barkas at this point just hoping for no cautions and obviously no contact with the wall. Coming into this race, second in points, Jamie Barkas is. And really, this is all you could have asked is if you are Jamie Barkas is win this race and hope that, you know, Patrick Drabik isn't right behind you. That's how this race has worked out.
Yeah, as I'm flipping through the field, it's pretty tame. There's a battle back here for 10th between Chuck Phelps and Tyler Rice, and that's about it.
Yeah, Jamie Barkas just needs one more clean lap to get to that white flag so that we cannot see a yellow come out the rest of the race. But if we can't get to that white flag, we will see a green-white checkered. So half a lap now to go for Jamie Barkas, and whoa, he's slowing up quick. What has happened to the 69 car? I mean, something had to have happened to that car as Patrick Drabik gets in front of him. White flag is out. Patrick Drabik to the lead. And that is definitely going to be something we have to ask in the interview, as Jamie Barkas should still be able to finish second. What happened coming to the white flag?
I'm sitting in cockpit, and I don't know if... I think it starts pushing, looks like. He had to get way out of it.
Coming to the checkered flag, Patrick Drabik wins the back, the blue 150 here at Darlington Raceway. Jamie Barkas second, Justin Hendry third. Let's try to go back and check that out real quick before we get the burnouts from Drabik. Car's slowing down right here. I don't know if it was blowing up or out of fuel, but he made it another lap. So, whatever happened to that car.
Looks like we're going to get a team burnout.
Only thing I can think of is the car was heated up due to that damage, but that's the only thing I can really think of. But yeah, Patrick Drabik, your winner of tonight's race. Last lap pass in order to do so, but he pulls it out and he's going to extend that points lead.
And there's a motor blown.
Yep. Patrick Drbick sends back a blown engine to the motor shop. Engine shop, sorry. And we are going to go ahead and get our race winner in here.
If I can I can't. They're all the way down at the bottom.
I don't see anybody right now. I don't know.
I gotta do a 2-stage drag.
I don't see anybody in the voice chat right now for some reason.
Well, dang it. Where'd he go?
Oh, they're all in the waiting room.
No,
now.
they're all in the waiting room. I find them all. So you want Patrick first?
Yes, sir.
Patrick, it's Zach and Alex. You got us?
I sure do.
Really starting to stretch out that points lead. I think you could possibly have it locked up tonight.
Well, I mean, my teammate Jamie was the closest one to me, and he was 22 back, and I only beat him by one position, so it's a good points lead going into the last race for sure, though.
Were you expecting what happened to happen coming out of turn 4, going to the white flag to happen? Do you have any idea what happened there?
No, I mean, we ran nose to tail pretty much all night long, and there were definitely points and times during that race I was a little bit faster than him, and I think he got loose, pushing it pretty hard because it was just the two of us, and I got a pretty good run on him, and then we went into 3 side by side, and he didn't have much of a choice but to let up and let me go, and I was quite surprised, and man, hell of a win.
So the season finale is at Chicagoland. Are you expecting another strong finish?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Chicago's a fun track. I really came here to Darlington wanting to win. Love the track, love racing the track, and love that I finally got to park the 07 in Victory Lane here at Darlington.
Yeah, I mean, they call this track the track too tough to tame, but it seems like Jam Cook Racing pretty well had her whipped into shape.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I mean, we put the time in every week and we practice, and what fine tuning we can do to a fixed setup, we make sure that we get it done so we can go out there and put on the best performance we can. Yeah, that was a fun race, and yeah, great time.
All right, you got any? Go ahead, Alex.
No, I was going to ask the same thing. Who do you want to thank tonight?
Well, my teammate. I mean, we raced real good, raced real clean, and really, again, as I've said quite a few different times, the field. Even though this was a very tough track, a lot of guys with a lot of give and take tonight. As I'd come up on guys, they would give room. As we'd go into a corner, even though we were side by side, guys gave room. So it might have been quite a few cautions, but man, great field tonight, and it's a hell of a privilege to race with these guys.
All right, well, congratulations on your win, and looking forward to seeing you next week at Chicago and seeing if you can't hold off that championship.
That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That was Patrick Drbick, tonight's race winner and points leader. Now we'll move on to Jamie Barkas, second place finisher tonight.
Jamie, it's Zach and Alex. You got us?
Oh, yeah, I got you guys.
So take us through that last lap. We were not quite expecting to see you fall off like that.
Oh, man, we can't have the series champion not get a win on the season, right? I mean, it was all planned. I had damage on the car for most of the race, so I wasn't able to really pull away. But once I got that fast repair, you could see I opened up a lead, but that was all worked out ahead of time.
So team orders and you chopped the throttle then.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to mention that on the broadcast, but I wanted to be 100% sure before I go throwing out those allegations.
Oh,
well, I mean,
yeah.
That's good on you, man.
Yeah, man, look, whatever one of us wins, we win. I mean, it's a team thing, it's a team championship. It's team wins. There is no he does something or I do something. We both won.
Yeah, how are you two both I mean, we saw Clint Reese be pretty fast. He got caught up in some stuff, but how were you both able to be so fast that you both were able to pull away from third place and on by 3 or 4 seconds or more?
I'm really not. I don't really have a good answer for that. I'm not sure what happened to Clint. If he'd have stayed up front, I don't know if either one of us had anything for him tonight. But I don't know. As the race went on, we kept getting better, getting more comfortable. This was not the setup that we had practiced. We weren't sure which setup we were using tonight because there's 2 fixed setups. But caught a little off guard, but it definitely worked out for us.
Yeah, I mean, you guys both had the restarts. So you guys seemed like your restarts were pretty synchronized, and I think that was a big key to your guys' success tonight.
Yeah, that's always an advantage, when leagues allow, the leaders to handle the restarts after the initial start of the race. So, I'm obviously telling him when I'm going, we're counting it down. So, we just want to make sure that we give each other room that we can clear and get in that turn 1 as best we can, especially here at Darlington. You cannot try to enter that corner too wide. It's not going to work. So that was just a goal: get clear and try to set sail, and it worked.
So next week, Chicagoland, are you gonna run blocker for him and to help him secure the? Well, I mean, he's pretty much already has it secured. But you're just gonna kind of run blocker and keep him out of trouble.
He's got his win. All right, so he's pretty much got the championship wrapped up. I can't catch him. I mean, he'd pretty much have to be wrecked out on lap 1 and finish dead last to really have a chance, depending on how many people show up. So, definitely there won't be any pulling over next week if I'm out front. And, but no, I will not be blocking for him. We're oddly enough, we're supposed to have a no blocking rule in this league, which seems to be forgotten sometimes. But anyways, so no, it'll be every man for himself next week, but we definitely won't do anything to hurt each other.
All right, you got anybody you want to thank tonight?
Like always, thank you guys for the job you do. I mean, week after week, the broadcast is awesome, even though sometimes the races aren't so awesome. But you guys do a really good job with it. So, thanks to you guys, thanks to Matt for putting this league on, and thanks to Pat, all the work we put into this, and it pays off for us on Friday nights.
All right, well, congrats on your second place finish. Looking forward to seeing you next week at Chicago.
All right, thank you guys, appreciate it.
All right, that was your second place finisher, Jamie Barkas. Now we'll move on to Justin Hendry.
Justin, Zach, and Alex, you got us?
10-4, I got you.
It seemed like you were kind of stuck back in the back of the top 10. You got up front and just kind of a little too late. But I mean, it's kind of hard to catch those jam cut guys. Take us through your race.
Oh, it was a little sketchy at first, but just kept digging, had some good pit stops, and was able to get back up higher up in the field. Once got up there behind those 2 guys, they just didn't have anything for them. They had a doubt in.
How tough was it to keep it out of that wall? Because that's where everybody gets the famous Darlington stripes. How tough was it to get as a good of an exit as you can at a turn 2, but not too hard that you hit that wall?
The beginning half of the race, it was great. It would, especially 1 and 2, it'd dive up into that high lane and just grab hold and just come on around, rotate all the way around the turn, slow it down a little bit in 3 and 4. But as the race went on, it just got tighter and tighter and tighter, and you'd really have to back out of it, get it to slow down, especially on the exit. It was definitely tricky.
All right, well, next week we head to Chicago. How you feeling about Chicagoland?
Well, I love Chicagoland. It's always has some decent luck at that track. So we'll give it a shot, see how it goes. I haven't been able to run a full schedule with these guys, but the ones I have been able to get into, it's been a lot of fun.
I did notice you brought back your famed Crimson Tide paint scheme. and I feel like that's your lucky paint scheme. Hopefully, it brings your Crimson Tide some luck on Monday night.
Yeah, that's kind of why I had to put it back on for tonight. Maybe have a good finish here, bring them a little bit of luck for Monday. I'll be pulling for them against them old Buckeyes.
So who would you like to thank tonight?
Just everybody here in the league, Matt, everybody that runs it, and just the guys in the race tonight. Just a lot of fun.
All right. Well, congrats on your top 3 finish. Looking forward to seeing you next week at Chicago.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Clint did that one bonehead fucking move.
Oh, I tried to move. It took me over to the waiting room instead of when I think we both tried to move him. And that's when I accidentally went over to the waiting room. So that was 150 laps at Darlington Raceway. Kind of a tough race, the back half of it with the cautions that we had, but nice race by these guys. What are your last thoughts about tonight?
I mean, it was good racing. It was better than I anticipated. I expected chaos and destruction like we had at Martinsville, but these guys kept it off the wall for the most part and kept it with a few good green flag runs.
Yeah, as we head, like we have mentioned tonight, to Chicagoland Speedway next week. Real quick, actually, I'll bring the results back up and take you through that. Patrick Drabik, your winner. Jamie Barkas, second. Justin Hendry, third. Jesse Necula, fourth. Jeff Paisley, fifth. Joshua Sexton, sixth. William Griffith, seventh. Mickey Isaac, eighth. Chuck Feltz, ninth. And Charles Stevens running out the top 10. Tyler Rice, 11th. Josh Oswald, 12th. Lance Sponberg finishing 13th. Brandon Wallace, 14th. 15th is Eric Santee. Clint Reist, 16th. Ray Page, 17th. Tia Swink, 18th. Actually, I need to get to where I can scroll for you guys. There we go. 19th is Michael Swink. Elliot Longenecker running out the top 20. Scotty Stevens, 21st. Tanner Marr, 22nd. Will Paisley, 23rd. Rich Yeoman, 24th. And Philip Manzo, 25th. The rest were race control, I believe. And those are your results for tonight's race. And we'll go head into what's going on next week. Like we've mentioned, Chicagoland Speedway, 150 laps to decide a champion. It's looking pretty good for Patrick Drabik. With a win tonight, all he has to do is have a solid race next week, and he's going to lock up the championship. It's going to be an interesting one, Alex, and we have another 150-lap race to go watch.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are through the ringer on the schedule. Richmond, Martinsville, and now through Darlington. I mean, I feel like Chicagoland is just going to be a fresh of breath airs for these guys after this gauntlet they just ran.
Yeah, Watkins, Glen, Richmond, Martinsville, and Darlington all back to back, 4 in a row. So, I mean, it's been since December 4th was Kansas Speedway, the last lengthy track that wasn't, a difficult track like Darlington. So, yeah, definitely a breath of fresh air. And for our points leader, he's just going to look to, like I said, have a nice and easy race and not do anything too out of the ordinary, and he'll be able to pull home the championship for the Xtreme Xfinity Series, the first season for the series. And so we'll go ahead and talk to you a little bit about Original Rebels Racing League. And I don't know if you'll have anything, Alex, but we'll head out of here. The Sunday Night Truck Series, brought to you by Intensity Broadcasting. You can catch them on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, just like you can catch us on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. The Friday Night Xtreme Xfinity Series, what you watch tonight. The Saturday Night Senate Cup Series tomorrow night at Phoenix, I believe. And the Tuesday Night Dirt Invader Series, those start at 9. So if you're interested in joining the league at all, we have those two on the right, the Saturday Night Senate and the Tuesday Night Dirt Invader Series, available for recruitment, along with a couple of other series on Mondays, and I believe that's it. But we also have the Thunderstruck Super Series League that you can join. So look us up on iRacing Facebook. Look up Matt Geis on Facebook. Contact him if you want to get into the league. We'll get you into the Discord and get you into these races that you see every week, week in and week out. So, yeah, if you're interested in racing with these guys, go ahead and do that. Alex, anything else?
No, I'm excited to get to Chicagoland, a track that's about 4 hours from my driveway, to close this championship out.
Yeah, so make sure to tune in next Friday to watch us crown a champion in the Xtreme Xfinity Series, and make sure to tune in tomorrow night for the Saturday Night Senate Cup Series at Phoenix. Zach Wetstein, Alex Veith in the booth. Have a good